All right. Let me just tap that. There we go. We are good to go. Hey, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us once again with Gentleman Octopus Trivia.
Don't worry, it's strange to us, too.
Right. On a Tuesday. Feels weird. It really does. But we had major technical issues yesterday. Apparently it was a neighborhood-wide thing. But got up this morning, everything was looking better, rebooted the internet just to make sure.
Rebooted everything.
Mm-hmm. And we should, fingers crossed,
should be ready to go tonight.
Should be good to go for tonight's game. Exactly. So thanks very much for giving us another shot. We usually run every Monday at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and if you've never played with us before, that's usually when you can catch us. So tune in again Monday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, for our usual game. We will be getting on with our game here in just a little bit, assuming that it's pretty much going to be return teams from last night playing.
Yep. Just letting everybody kind of file in for a few minutes.
Yeah, so we're
not going to go over a huge amount of like the rules and stuff because we did it last night.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to get at there. With saying that we're assuming it's largely going to be returning teams, so no need to necessarily linger over the rules unless there's something you do want to know, in which case please let us know in the chat and we'll help you with any questions you need answered. In the meantime, I'd like to say thank you to a whole bunch of supporters of ours, people who have been here either just in the last week or totally from the beginning. We got a whole variety of supporters there, and if you want to be a supporter, all you got to do is send us a donation via Venmo at McKinney-Sizemore, or use PayPal. That's ksizemore@hotmail.com. You can support DIY Trivia, and we will celebrate your good deeds and sing of them right and proper here on our supporters page.
Maybe you don't want us to sing.
Most likely not. Give me 1 second. Twitch is asking me for a thing again.
Yep.
That should be... Oops.
Went ahead and put the answer forms in the Facebook chat.
Okay, great. I'm putting them in Twitch now. That's why it was asking me to do a thing.
And then I was just post.
Okay, there we go. All right, and we just wanted to say thank you to our supporters: Liz Hudson, Adam Francois Watkins, and Rachel Schumann. Thank you. Thank you to Lincoln Hamilton, Claire Fisher, and Will Gilbert. Thank you to Gail Angeles, Stephen Glassman, Mark Dawson, and Jerome Verid. To Adam Connor, Martin Butterick, Kent Buxton, Dustin Resch. Thank you also to Lindsay Henry, Jordan Lax, and Dan Fitzpatrick. Thank you also to Marnie Helfrich, who donated last night.
Yes, thank you.
And of course, as always, thank you to Sarah Ann Rapp, partner of the Octopus, and partner of mine, who has contributed a question to tonight's game, in addition to providing some help and insight with the music round. So look for her fingerprints on those. Look for TJ's fingerprints on a bunch of other questions. Yeah. And look for my fingerprints on a bunch of other questions. They smudge.
They smudge.
They smudge. Smudge like the smudge like that cat. Always reading the things differently.
Always a cat.
Oh, I mean,
that's always a cat.
It's fairly universal language for sure. But anyway, yeah, just want to say thank you to all of those people. And again, if you want to donate, support DIY Trivia. We do this 100% out of pocket. Don't get paid for it at all. So if you want to support us, you can do so at Venmo at McKinney-Sizemore, or use PayPal, ksizemore@hotmail.com. We hope you have a great time. And we're going to move on to our next page where we talk just a little bit about the rules. We're close to 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we're expecting a few less people just because people can't fully make it on Tuesday, school night, get that.
Yeah, I've already had a couple of people reach out to me saying that, but I mean, definitely wanted to give these questions their due.
Yeah.
So, if it ends up being a small night, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. It's just you and I playing against each other. You can catch us on the VOD, for sure. Yeah. Just ends up being you and I reading questions into the aether. That's fine, too.
The aether. Not even the ether.
Classical. That's classical, buddy. Buddy. Yeah. Buddied you pretty good there. Anyway, yeah, as with all of our games, all you got to do is get the Google Form links. We provided them in the chat on Facebook, on Twitch, and on YouTube. And you're going to use those Google Forms to submit your answers. Make sure you include your team name on each one of them and only submit each answer form one time. There will be 5 rounds of 8 questions. Your middle round will be a music round with a theme. Usually, questions are only worth 1 point, except in the music round, where a title is worth 1 point and an artist is worth 1 point. Those questions are evaluated separately, so if you get the title right and the artist wrong, you'll still get 1 point. Also in the music round, the most valuable question of the night, what's the theme? We'll give you 2 points if you can figure out the theme that connects all 8 music clips. So that's pretty awesome. Feel free to play individually. Feel free to team up using a group chat, however you want to do it. If you want to form a scratch team in the comments, go for it.
Yep.
Let's see. Questions will be read once and then
keep scoring an old school baseball scorebook.
Oh my goodness!
I don't know how you would do that.
Yeah, I don't know how you would do that either.
Yeah,
but I do like the idea of someone there with a program trying to figure it out.
All right, F9. Somebody sunk their battleship.
But anyway, just wanted to say questions will be read once and then they'll be recapped. After the recap, we'll put up a 3-minute timer, and at the end of that 3-minute timer, you will submit your answers. So best of luck, everybody. If you need us to repeat a question or go back to a slide and show you an image, please let us know. And as always, remember that the Gentleman Octopus question archive is available on a Google Drive. It's been posted on the page before. It's been posted a couple of times in the Trivia Studying Support group as well. But if you need access to it, let us know. We'll share it with you. And we're offering that it's like 3,300 plus slides, something like that, on a pay what you want basis. Mm-hmm. You know, if you look at it and find it's doing some good for you, like, yeah, here you go, here's $10. If you find that it, helped you get an answer in some kind of championship game, you can bump it up to 20. I mean, it's all up to...
We're not going to tell you what to do.
Yeah, exactly. Not going to tell you what to do. But if you ever want to check it out, Gentleman Octopus Question Archive. Tons and tons of material. I use it as my screensaver, and I would look at it every single night when my computer goes to sleep.
Sleep
mode.
All right. It is time for question number 1.
Yep.
And I started last time, so
you
I'll
did
go ahead
indeed.
and do so.
Here you go.
Yep. Question number 1. Originally published in the 1817 collection, The Night Pieces. What short story by E.T.A. Hoffman about a terrifying nocturnal figure shared its name with a series of graphic novels, first published roughly 180 years later? Once again, originally published in the 1817 collection, The Night Pieces. What short story by E.T.A. Hoffman is about a terrifying nocturnal figure and shares its name with a series of graphic novels that was first published 180 years later? What is that short story and that monster? That's question 1.
Absolutely. For anybody who's just joining us, if you need us to repaste the answer forms, please let us know. We'll make sure that you get those. For anybody who's wondering, hey, I saw these questions last night. Yeah, you did. The first 6 questions were read. We never revealed any of the answers, so they're still live. Mm-hmm. They're still in play.
They're still good.
We're making up for technical difficulties last night with last night's game.
Yep.
So, question number 2. The highlighted portion of the following image shows the Adamawa region, a constituent area of what country, bordered by Nigeria to the west and the Central African Republic to the east? So about to show you a picture. That picture has a highlighted portion, and that portion shows the Adamawa region. That region is a constituent area of what country, which is bordered to the west by Nigeria and to the east by the Central African Republic. So there you go. That red spot there, like I said yesterday, it's not red on the ground.
Yeah.
When you get there, it's not like, wow, this is really freaking red. It's just trying to show you what's going on there. That central portion there is the Adamawa region, which is part of what country? Which is bordered to the west by Nigeria and to the east by the Central African Republic. Identify that country. That is question number 2. Wawa Cup.
Question number 3. Among NFL running backs with at least 750 attempts, what 2008 third-round pick, who retired after the 2018 season, has the highest yards per carry, averaging 5.5 almost every touch? Among NFL running backs with at least 750 carries, what 2008 third-round pick has the highest yards per carry at 5.4? What is the name of that former running back retired in 2018 That's question 3.
If you were my running back and you picked up 5 yards a tote, I would have the easiest job in the world as an offensive coordinator. Just create blocking schemes for this guy. He's going to win it. Come on, hand it off to TJ.
Yep, it's the same link as last night.
Yep, it is indeed. If it needs to be posted again, I will post it again, which I'll just do just because now I'm paranoid about it. That's in Twitch, and that's in YouTube. And now we move on to question number 4. In 1983, what telecommunications company released the Dynatac, a cell phone that cost approximately $4,000, before helping to popularize much more portable models such as the Razr? The Razr and Dynatac are 2 very different models of mobile phones produced by what telecommunications company, the first of which was developed in 1983 and cost approximately $4,000. What is the name of that telecommunications company? That's question number 4.
Question number 5. In 2018, what filmmaker and Maryland native became the most recent American man to be awarded an officer rank of the French Order of Arts and Letters? What filmmaker and Maryland native in 2018 became the most recent American man to be awarded an officer rank in the French Order of Arts and Letters? Who is that filmmaker? That is question number 5.
And question number 6. This is where I went to pot last night.
Yeah.
Question number 6. One of the many protected specimens found in Aruba's Bubali Bird Sanctuary is the yellow species of what vast group of passeriforms seen on the following slide and named for the quality of their song? So once again, in Aruba's Bubali Bird Sanctuary, you can find the yellow species of what vast group of passeriform birds, one of which is seen on the following slide, and is named for the quality of its song. That is the bright yellow bird right there.
Bright yellow boy.
Bright yellow bird. It's not a canary. We'll tell you it's not a canary for sure. But yeah, this type of bird is found in the Bubali Bird Sanctuary in Aruba, and it's named for the quality of its song. It belongs to a vast group, an all-encompassing almost group, of passeriforms that all share a similar name. But this is the yellow species of what type of bird? That's question number 6.
Question number 7. The following image shows a remnant of what massive military engineering project that was in use from 1935 to 1969 and named for a French Minister of War. So the following image here shows the remnants of what massive military project that went from 1935 to 1969 and was named after a French Minister of War.
Well, it was in use from 35 to 69.
Yeah.
Construction didn't last that long.
Well, yeah. That's not what I said. So what is the name of this project and thus that French Minister of War?
Yep. That's it.
That's question 7.
And question number 8.
Okay with you.
And question number 8. Seen on the following slide, what Spanish name is given to a type of outdoor oven typically constructed of adobe and still used in New Mexican cuisine? Once again, New Mexican cuisine still makes use of what type of outdoor adobe oven with the Spanish name, which is seen on this slide. What is the name for this adobe oven? That is question number 8. We'll let you look at that oven a little bit more.
Looks like where Anakin's mother lived.
You know, you're not wrong. Moving on now to the recap.
Yeah, that didn't go too horribly. Let's do it again. Originally published in the 1817 collection, The Night Pieces. What short story by E.T.A. Hoffman is about a terrifying nocturnal figure and shared its name with a series of graphic novels that was first published roughly 180 years later. What is the name of that monster and those graphic novels? That is question 1.
Question number 2. The highlighted portion of the following image shows the Adamawa region, a constituent area of what country, bordered by Nigeria to the west and the Central African Republic to the east? If it's Adobe, it's probably updating right now, says Alexander.
I appreciate that.
Once again, here's that country. It is bordered to the west by Nigeria and to the east by the Central African Republic. That country's Adamawa region is highlighted there in red. Name the country. That's question number 2.
Question number 3. Among NFL running backs with over 750 attempts, what 2008 third-round pick tops them all with 5.4 yards per carry? So what 2008 third-round draft pick has the highest yards per carry in league history? That's question 3.
Question number 4. In 1983, what telecommunications company released the Dynatac, a cell phone that cost approximately $4,000, before helping to popularize ultra-portable models such as the Razor? So again, the Dynatac and the Razor were both different, very different, models of cell phone produced by what telecommunications company? The first of which was made as early as 1983 and cost as much as $4,000. That's question number 4.
Question number 5. In 2018, what filmmaker and Maryland native became the most recent man to be awarded an officer rank in the French Order of Arts and Letters? What filmmaker and Maryland native in 2018 was the most recent American man to be named an officer in the French Order of Arts and Letters? What's that filmmaker? That's question 5.
Question number 6. One of the many protected specimens found in Aruba's Bubali Bird Sanctuary is the yellow species of what vast group of passeriforms seen on the following slide and named for the quality of their song? You'll have to share your answer at the reveal.
Yeah.
That is question number 6. That is the yellow species of what type of bird, which is named for the quality of its song.
Question number 7. The following image shows a remnant of what massive military engineering project that was in use from 1935 to 1969 and named for a French minister of war? So was that military compound and that French minister of war? That is question number 7.
And as we round out round number 1 for the first time in 2 days, here's question number 8.
We made it.
Yay! Seen on the following slide, what Spanish name is given to a type of outdoor oven typically constructed of adobe and still used in New Mexican cuisine? What is the name for this type of outdoor adobe oven? That's what we're looking for in question number 8, and that's it.
That is
so
it.
Let's roll it back to the top. Let's set up the timer for you, give you 3 minutes. And while we're doing that, TJ, you want to think of our music for the night?
Ooh, what else? Some disco.
We did disco last time.
Did we do disco last time?
We did do disco last time. What's this new thing? Okay. Stations. What do I want?
What we got?
Ambient, blues, alternative, surprise me. Chill pop, chill EDM, chill bass, chill. Country disco, drum and bass, folk epic. Electro swing, EDM, funk, hard dance, hip hop.
Don't click that link in Twitch.
Yeah, please don't. Happens every now and again. House grooves, meditation. I say we go epic.
All right.
Let's see what epic has for us. All right, here's some epic music. We'll see you soon. There we go. And here's the timer. Everybody's gotten a long look at question number 1. All right, we are back, and it's time to reveal the answers from round number 1. As TJ said, the gang's all here. The gang's just a little small tonight, which is
A little small.
definitely expected. We're doing it on an off night, one that we don't usually play on, and plus this is basically a continuation for anybody who was there last night.
Yep.
So, hit it, TJ.
All right. Question number 1, originally published in the 1817 collection, The Night Pieces, but short story by E.T.A. Hoffman. It's about a terrifying nocturnal figure, and it shares its name with a series of graphic novels first published roughly 180 years later.
Man, Bear, Pig?
Man, Bear, Pig, you know it. E.T.A. Hoffman wrote about the Sandman, and of course the graphic novels by Mr. Neil Gaiman.
Yep, 1989, I believe, was the publication of the first volume. Question number 2. The highlighted portion of the following image shows the Adamawa region, a constituent area of what country, bordered by Nigeria to the west and the Central African Republic to the east. This country is one of my favorites, simply because of the fact that it takes its name from the word for shrimp. That is Cameroon. Cameroon, yes. Cameroon is home to the Adamawa region and is located there, as you will see, on the coast of the Atlantic, with Central African Republic to the east and Nigeria to the west.
Question number 3. Among NFL running backs with at least 750 attempts, what 2008 third-round pick who retired after the 2018 season has the NFL lead, currently with 5.4 per every tote? Might be being taken over by Lamar Jackson soon enough.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
This is Jamal Charles.
Excellent. I saw somebody guess DeMarco Murray, which was curious because
very high ceiling.
He did, and he also, I think those years were roughly contemporaneous.
Yeah, so, those were probably contemporaneous with his Dallas years, but then he went to Philadelphia, had a couple decent years, and then Tennessee it kind of all fell apart.
Right. Question number 4. In 1983, what telecommunications company released the Dynatac, a cell phone that cost approximately $4,000? Before helping to pioneer ultra-portable models with the Razr. I think everybody got this right. Mm-hmm. That is Motorola. Motorola was the one where they made the first phone call. That guy made it from the car, and he made it to a competitor's landline to be like, hey, check it out. We're mobile now.
Yep.
Game's changed.
Yep.
It's a baller move.
Question number 5. In 2018, what filmmaker and Maryland native became the most recent American man to be awarded an officer rank by the French Order of Arts and Letters? That would be filmmaker John Waters. And of course, John Waters, being a Maryland native, is important because he wrote Hairspray.
Yep. All the Baltimore stuff.
Good morning, Baltimore.
Good morning, Baltimore. Question number 6. One of the many protected specimens found in Aruba's Bubali Bird Sanctuary is the yellow species of what passeriform, seen on the following slide, and named for the quality of their song. I believe half of our teams got this right. We got some guesses of whippoorwill, I guess because poor is there. Yeah. It's like, really not. It's a no from me, dog.
Not taking it.
What was your answer, TJ?
It's not the booty trash bird.
It is not the booty trash bird. It is the warbler. That kind of quality. You had a John Waters answer and didn't use his pick from The Simpsons. Hey, don't worry. You got Simpsons content coming. I promise you that.
We wanted to show off the...
He's there with his medal.
Yeah,
he's got his medal and his mom. I mean, come on. Come on.
It's
too adorable. Yeah. That is the warbler. TJ, question 7.
Question 7. The following image shows a remnant of what massive military engineering project...
Zap.
that was in use from 1935 to 1969 and was named for a French minister of war.
Yes, the whippoorwill does take its name from the sound it makes. It doesn't necessarily take its name from the quality of sound it makes, which the warbler has the warbling quality and is also part of the passeriform species and includes the passeriform genus and includes the yellow species.
Was that his mom or Debbie Harry?
I don't think it was Debbie Harry. If it was...
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie, exactly.
The answer here is the Maginot Line.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And our last one of the round, seen on the following slide. What Spanish name is given to a type of outdoor oven typically constructed of adobe and still used in New Mexican cuisine? That would be a horno. Horno is correct. There we go. TJ, introduce us to the teams.
All right, gang's all here. Third podium, Kanye West Nile virus. Who killed Norm Macdonald? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. And the Werthers of Old Sorrows. The Werthers of Old Sorrows and Who Killed Norm Macdonald both have perfect scores from that round.
I'm looking at the picture of John Waters now to see who it is. That was Debbie Harry. Well, I was totally wrong about that.
Totally wrong.
My apologies to Debbie Harry. All right, moving on to
That's
round
always happening.
number 2.
Debbie Harry.
No, it was almost Jeanette Neapolitano, remember?
Yep.
Of Concrete Blonde.
Yep.
Because she threatens to beat the ass off anybody who uses her stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a point where we ran the music rattle like,
Yeah.
are we about to court an ass kicking from the Concrete Blonde lead singer?
Probably. I mean,
Be so conflicted because first of all, fair use, but second of all, I'm a big Concrete Blonde fan too. I really don't want to take this out. Anyway, you are going to start.
yep. Question number 1. A bay and a gulf shared between Spain and Portugal are both named for what coastal Iberian province? So a bay and a gulf shared between Spain and Portugal are both named for what coastal Iberian province? What coastal Iberian province is that? That's question 1.
Excellent. So I'm pretty sure that's the shortest question of the night.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. I want to check something. All right. Question number 2. Seen on the following slide in a surprise reappearance on the rebooted DuckTales is what dashing air pirate who first appeared on Tailspin. This is a dashing air pirate, or rather, what dashing air pirate who first appeared on Tailspin. This still here is from a 2018 surprise reappearance on the new DuckTales. We got a donation just a second ago. I don't know if this person wants their name to be revealed, so I'll just say thank you very much.
Thank
we
you so
appreciate
much.
the donation. TJ, cheers.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a
I
thing.
got a water. Yeah.
That's fine. I got a styrofoam cup. I mean, we're not fancy here.
Yep.
That's question number 1 or 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Question number 3. Succeeding Kurt Waldeham as what Peruvian is currently the only person from the designated region of Latin America and the Caribbean to serve as Secretary General of the United Nations. Succeeding Kurt Waldheim as what Peruvian is currently the only person from the designated region of Latin America and the Caribbean to serve as Secretary General of the United Nations. So basically, who's Secretary General of the United Nations?
Who was Peruvian. Yep.
It was Peruvian, yep.
For sure. This question I wrote 3 days ago, I think, and I saw that earlier this week, or earlier that week, I had played a quiz where this person was the answer, so I'm going to give a co-writing credit to Phil Brook for this question. So thank you very much, Phil, for the idea. And here's question number 4. This one comes to you from Sarah Ann Rapp. Thank you again for writing a question for us, Sarah. And here it is. Deriving from an old French avian word, the bracket-like load-supporting architectural feature, seen on the following slide as a sculptured bust, bears what name? Seen on the following slide as a sculptured bust, what is the name for the bracket-like load-supporting architectural feature we're about to show you? It is derived from an old French avian word, and there is that feature. Again, thank you to Sarah for writing this question, for finding the image, and I think you'll all like the reveal image as well. So, thank you very much, Sarah.
That is question number 4.
Let's hit up question number 5.
Question number 5. What Grammy-nominated song was unexpectedly taken back into the Billboard Top 30 in 2020 by the indie rock project Rit Momney? So what Grammy-nominated song was unexpectedly taken back into the top 30 in 2020 by the indie rock project Rit Momney? What Grammy-nominated song is that? That's question number 5 for you.
And question number 6. Oh, why is it not going?
There.
There it is. Just making sure that it's not freezing on us. There we go. Wendy Waters, Jake Justice, and Billy Blazes were the leading characters on what 1999 to 2003 Canadian television show, based on a line of Fisher-Price toys celebrating first responders. So a Fisher-Price toy line celebrating first responders and including the characters Wendy Waters, Jake Justice, and Billy Blazes was the inspiration for what 1999 to 2003 Canadian television show. Looking for the name of that show or the name of that toy line, they're both the same, and that is question number 6.
And question number 7, coming from Greek and Latin roots, meaning without order. What neurological sign is characterized by a lack of coordinated muscle movements, an uneven gait, and speech difficulties? Coming from Greek and Latin roots meaning without order, what neurological sign is characterized by a lack of coordinated muscle movements, an uneven gait, and speech difficulties? That is question 7.
It is.
It is indeed.
It is.
And you know what time it is?
I do.
It's Randy Anagram time.
That's right, it is. All right, your Randy Anagram is as follows. Rearrange the following letters to form an 8-letter word. You've got warm leak. That's WARMLEAK. And your hint is, okay, it's time to lay down some rules. Warm leak. Okay, it's time to lay down some rules. Those are your letters. That is your clue. Rearrange those letters and give us an 8-letter word. That's question number 8. Let's do the recap.
Question number 1. A bay and a gulf shared between Spain and Portugal are both named for what coastal Iberian province? A coastal Iberian province names a bay and a gulf shared between Spain and Portugal.
Question number 2. Seen on the following slide in a surprise reappearance on the rebooted DuckTales is what dashing air pirate who first appeared on Tailspin? What is the name of this dashing? Oh yeah, you can't, right? It's impossible to hear that without.
You hear DuckTales go woo, and then Tailspin. Oh, wheel.
If you hear someone's doing Tarzan, boy, it's oh. Yeah, it's just impossible.
Shout out to Baltimore.
Shout out to Baltimore. Yeah, secret Baltimore theme. Baltimore. Yeah. Even though they're Italian. Anyway, question number 2. Identify this dashing air pirate from Tailspin, seen here in a reappearance on the 2018 DuckTales.
Question number 3 is seeing Kurt Waldheim as what Peruvian is currently the only person from the designated region of Latin America and the Caribbean to serve as Secretary General of the United Nations. What Peruvian served as Secretary General of the United Nations? That's question 3.
That comma's messing you up there in the beginning, huh?
A little bit.
Sorry. Question number 4.
Really getting your goat, isn't it?
Pulling in scruff.
No, I'm a scruffs.
Question number 4. This one again comes to you from Sarah Ann Rapp, who says, deriving from an old French avian word. The bracket-like, load-supporting architectural feature, seen on the following slide as a sculptured bust, bears what name? What is the name for this bracket-like, load-supporting feature that gets its name from an old French avian word? That is question number 4. Identify that feature.
And question number 5. What Grammy-nominated song was unexpectedly taken back into the Billboard Top 30 in 2020 by the indie rock project Rit Momney? So what Grammy-nominated song was unexpectedly taken back into the top 30 on the Billboard Hot 100 by the rock project Rit Momney? What is that song? That's question 5.
Question number 6. Wendy Waters, Jake Justice, and Billy Blazes were the leading characters on what 1999 to 2003 Canadian television show that was based on a line of Fisher-Price toys celebrating first responders? What is the name of either that Fisher-Price toy line or Canadian television show? Both of them are the same. That's question number 6.
Question number 7. Coming from Greek and Latin roots, meaning without order, what neurological sign is characterized by a lack of coordinated muscle movements, an uneven gait, and speech difficulties? What neurological sign is that? That is question number 7. And time.
That's right. That's right indeed. Question number 8 is your Randy Anagram. Rearrange the following letters and give us an 8-letter word. Your letters are WARMLEAK, and that spells warm leak. Your hint is, okay, it's time to lay down some rules. So, warm leak, it's time to lay down some rules. Rearrange those letters. Give us an 8-letter word. That is the end of round number 2, so get those answers in just as soon as you can. I'm going to go back to the epic music. That was so funny to have the epic music going while manually doing the slides and revealing the warbler like at the crescendo of the epic music. Like, oh my goodness, a warbler!
How could it be?
The prophecy. It is true.
Oh, God.
Anyway, we'll see you on the other side of Calamity of Dread, according to this. See you later. All right. Yep, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
After you.
No, after you. No, after you. Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, we are back with round number 2, and here are your correct answers, starting with question number 1.
A bay and a gulf shared between Spain and Portugal are both named for what coastal Iberian province? The Iberian province is... Answer, please. Cadiz.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The Bay of
and
Cadiz.
the Gulf of Cadiz. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Bay of Cadiz off the coast of Spain feeds the Gulf of Cadiz, which stretches between Spain and Portugal, and its southern tip reaches to the Alborn Sea and the Strait of Gibraltar.
Cool stuff.
Ba, 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 ba. Question number 2. Seen on the following slide in a surprise reappearance on the rebooted DuckTales is what dashing air pirate who first appeared on Tailspin? I love how even the people who didn't know the answer knew he's French.
Yeah.
I saw Jean Defeat was pretty good.
That's a good one,
But probably equally as good as his actual name, which is Don Carnage. Don Carnage. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Question number 3, succeeding Kurt Waldheim as what Peruvian... Oh, God damn it, I did it again.
Sorry.
What Peruvian is currently the only person from the designated region of Latin America and the Caribbean to serve as Secretary General of the United Nations? Pretty well converted here.
Social, yeah.
Javier Perez de Cuellar.
Yeah. Javier Perez de Cuellar was Secretary General of the UN, I believe the 4th Secretary General of the UN, the 4th official one, after Trygve Lie and Dag Hammarskjöld and U Thant. And again, I believe at the beginning of last week, Phil Brook had a question on WikiQuiz that was about Javier Perez de Cuellar, so I'm going to give Brook writing credit on this one. Question number 4, derived from an old French avian word. The bracket-like, load-supporting architectural feature seen on the following slide as a sculptured bust bears what name? Now, this one, there is no shared credit. This was all Sarah Ann Rapp who wrote this question. You forgot the one in your question, Kurt Waldheim. Well, damn it. So I guess Cuellar was the 5th. But this one was... a corbel, which, yes, is derived from Corvid, or where we get Corvid, rather, with Raven.
Dumbledore.
It's a Corvus, yeah, no. Not a Dumbledore. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, that's where we get Corvid. It comes from Raven. And the whole clue about the sculptured bust that Sarah threw in there was a hint at the Raven and the palace bust of Athena.
Mm-hmm. Question number 5. What Grammy-nominated song was unexpectedly taken back into the Billboard Top 30 in 2020 by the indie rock project Rit Momney? That would be Corinne Bailey Rae's Put Your Records On. Was taken back in... Rit Momney's interesting because they don't have a big Wikipedia page, and the guy who fronts it lists the place that they recorded as his garage, as you do. And said that originally when they were about to do it, everybody that he formed it with as a group of high school friends, everyone else left to do Mormon missions.
Yep.
Everybody else left to do Mormon missions.
Tell me you're a Utah band without telling me you're a Utah band. Question number 6. Wendy Waters, Jake Justice, and Billy Blazes were the leading characters on what 1999 to 2003 Canadian television show based on a line of Fisher-Price toys celebrating first responders. That show and that toy line was called Rescue Heroes.
Rescue Heroes.
Rescue Heroes. I remember Hunter being really into Rescue Heroes. They were cool action figures because they always came with a contraption.
They came with a contraption, and they also came with like a DVD of 2 episodes of Rescue Heroes, the show.
That's right, they usually did.
Yeah, like every set came with a DVD.
So you can see all the characters you need to get action heroes on.
Question number 7, coming from Greek and Latin roots, meaning without order. What neurological sign is characterized by a lack of coordinated muscle movement, an uneven gait, and speech difficulty? And that sign is ataxia. Anything you say about ataxia?
Nope.
Sucks.
Yeah, absolutely, it sucks. I mean, not being able to control your external limbs, that absolutely sucks.
That sucks, yeah. But that is ataxia. And
question number 8. This is your Randy anagram. Rearrange the following letters. W-A-R-M-L-E-A-K. To give us an 8-letter word, we said it's time to lay down some rules. And if you were aching for Simpsons content, here it comes. Because warm leak is an anagram of lawmaker.
It's a capital city
And
goofball.
it's the capital city goofball at the state legislature.
Yeah. That is the end of round number 2. It's time for the scoring update. I was pretty sure the scoring update came after 2. It's almost like we've been doing this for a while now. In tied for third place with 9 points apiece, we have third podium and Kanye West Nile Virus. And tied for first place is Who Killed Norm Macdonald? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. And The Furthers of Old Sorrows.
The Furthers of Old
The
Sorrows.
Furthers, yep.
All right, let's take a look now.
Caramelly.
Caramelly. All right, now it's time to move into the music round, round number 3. It's just a little bit different. In the music round, you're going to hear 8 different clips. 1 point for each correctly guessed title, and 1 point for each correctly guessed artist. The theme, by the way, connecting our clips together, is worth 2 points if guessed successfully. It is the most valuable question of the night, without question. Most valuable question without question.
With questions.
So make sure that you take a guess on it, even if you don't think you have the answer. Plus, we love seeing what people think the theme was.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the link to your music clips has been posted in the comments. Feel free to listen, rewind, and listen again. I think this one's slightly longer than usual. There are a couple it almost hit 35 seconds. But yeah, enjoy it. We're going to put up a 10-minute timer during which we will not play any filler music. And we will only pop back on at the 2-minute mark to tell you have 2 minutes left. And at the 0-minute mark to tell you have 0 minutes left.
No minutes.
No minutes. Like a bad cell phone.
Yeah.
No minutes. Got to charge up your card.
Motorola.
Yeah. All right. We will see you all in just a little bit. So good luck, and we're going to set up the timer. See you in 10.
See you in a bit.
All right, everyone. Just about 2 minutes left in our music round. Half of our teams have already submitted, so whenever you're ready, please make sure you put in those answers just as soon as you can. Hopefully, you'll have time to take a break, get a refill on your drink, that kind of thing. I just realized I don't have my drink, so I'll probably want to get a refill anyway. Anyway. The last 2 minutes go by a lot quicker than the first 8, and in fact, you now have less than 90 seconds, so make sure you get those answers in when you can. We'll see you soon.
Yep.
All right, everybody, time is up. Make sure you get those answers in as soon as possible. TJ pointed out that Katie Sikelski was in the chat, so we'd like to wish Katie a happy birthday. Today is September 21st, which makes it Earth, Wind, and Fire Day. It also makes it our mom's birthday.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Katie, and happy birthday to Mom. Let's toast it up with these coconut brown ales. All right. Looks like we have all of our teams in, so feel free to take a break for a minute or two. Get yourself a drink, powder your nose, whatever you need to do. We'll see you in just a moment.
So that's how it is today. Let's get to your correct answers, even though, well, you probably know them.
All right, question number one. Song number one was as follows. That is Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down. Nancy Sinatra, famously re-recorded by Cher, and also the original version was featured in both Kill Bill and Kill Bill Volume 2.
Song number 2 was Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo by the Bloodhound Gang. Yeah. The Bloodhound Gang has never looked as cool as they do in that photo.
Exactly. That's absolutely why it has to be their Wikipedia photo. They've never looked that cool. By the way,
Jimmy Pop
somebody guessed Doonesbury for this song title, and that was the only drop in this music round.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Song number 3, Kathy's Clown by the Everly Brothers. Of course, rest in peace to Don Everly, I believe it was, who passed away recently. Rest in peace. Song number 4, TJ.
Song number 4 was Sunday Girl by Blondie.
That's a picture of Debbie Harry.
That is a picture of Debbie Harry.
That is a picture of Debbie Harry. Song number 5 was Charlie Brown by Coldplay. I expected that one to be harder.
That was the genesis for this round. This was originally going to be a Peanuts theme, and I couldn't figure out quite how to make it work the way I wanted it to, so it turned into comic strips.
Yeah. I remember hearing that. What soccer competition was it? Was it the Euros a few years ago? Yeah, I remember that.
Song number 6 was Any Song by John Denver.
Mm-hmm. Excellent song. You fill up my senses.
Song number 7 was The Spirit of Radio by Rush. And your last one was Feel So Close by Calvin Harris. Look at all those keys.
That is a lot of keys.
He's proud of them.
Mm-hmm. We're going to check this out.
And of course, it was comic strips and their characters was your theme.
Yeah, if you said comic books, we gave you credit for that as well.
If you say anything with comics, you got credit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you got Nancy and Sluggo. Foxtrot follows the Fox family, which I think is the only one in this round that isn't just the character.
Yeah.
That's why I had to put comic strips and their characters. Blondie, Charlie Brown, Annie, Little Orphan Annie. The Spirit, one of the first superhero comics, started as a comic strip. And Calvin and Hobbes.
Yep.
There you go. Good job, everybody.
Yeah.
So we're not going to check how that shakes things up because it really didn't.
Well, we don't do that anyway.
I know we don't.
Yeah.
I was just making up a thing.
Round number 4. Let's go on.
You want to start?
Yeah, let's do it. Question number 1. The following excerpt is taken from what Langston Hughes poem, whose introduction and foreword title indicated began as a homework assignment. It's not easy to know what is true for you or me, but I guess I'm what I feel and see and hear. Harlem, I hear you. That is what Langston Hughes poem, whose introduction and foreword title indicate it began as a homework assignment. What Langston Hughes poem is that? That's question 1.
Question number 2. A family law principle known as the Tender Years Doctrine becomes an essential plot point in the resolution of what 1979 Academy Award-winning film? In what 1979 Academy Award-winning film does the Tender Years Doctrine, a principle in family law, have a major impact on the resolution of the plot? That is question number 2.
It is.
Well-written question, TJ.
Thank you.
Jerry Smith.
Jerry Smith. Question number 3. Erwin Schrödinger's famous thought experiment involving a cat in a box was intended as a critique of an interpretation involving the existence of what 13-letter principle describing the simultaneous combination of multiple quantum states. So what 13-letter principle that describes the simultaneous combination of multiple quantum states was the genesis for Erwin Schrödinger's famous thought experiment? Was that 13-letter principle? That's question 3.
Whenever I number the amount of letters in a word, I get paranoid that I did it wrong.
Yep.
I just had to count them again.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 4. Whilst living in Leipzig, Johann Sebastian Bach used the words of German poet Picander as the libretto for several of his works, including which 1727 oratorio, partly named for a New Testament figure. A New Testament figure partly names what 1727 oratorio composed by Johann Sebastian Bach. Like several of the works Bach composed whilst living in Leipzig, the composer used the words of German poet Picander as its libretto. What is the name of that work? That's question number 4.
And question number 5, as revealed in Tango Maureen, the Rent characters Mark and Joanne both used to what schmoopy pet name? Schmoopy. In their pet name in their relationships with the title character. Once again, as revealed in Tango Maureen, the Rent characters Mark and Joanne both used what schmoopy pet name in their relationships with the title character. What is that pet name used in both of those relationships? That is question 5.
I went to type Schmoopy and autocorrected to Schmidt. Like, that's not
not
at all what I meant.
That's not it.
Question number 6. In 2018, what skier became the youngest to win 50 World Cup races? At just 23 years old, this skier is tied with Ted Ligety and Andrea Mead Lawrence for most medals by an American in alpine skiing.
They won the 50 World Cup races at 23. They're not 23 now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I misinterpreted that.
That's fine. Yeah. They won their 50 World Cup races at the age of 23. By the time they were 23, they'd won 50 World Cup races.
So in 2018, what skier became the youngest to win 50 World Cup races at just 23 years old? This skier is tied with Ted Ligety and Andrea Mead Lawrence for most medals by an American in alpine skiing.
Should have caught that on the dry run, but didn't.
It happens.
I was like, oh, that's not right.
Not like this is the third time we've looked at this question set or anything.
Totally. Is there skier? That's question 6. Question number 7, founded in 1929 by Amelia Earhart. What still extant international group supporting women pilots is named for the number of members who attended the group's first meeting? What still extant international group that supports women pilots is named for the number of members who attended the group's first meeting, founded in 1929 by Amelia Earhart? What is that group? That's question 7.
And question number 8, your last of the round. What Mexican beer brand has been redacted? Redacted. From the following stills from television commercials attempting to unite the brand with the Hispanic American identity. So once again, we're about to show you 2 stills from 2 different commercials. We're looking for the name of the Mexican beer brand that has been redacted from these stills in commercials that attempt to unite the brand with the Hispanic American identity. What is the name of the Mexican beer brand that has been redacted in these photos? That's question number 8.
And it's time for the recap.
It is. Here we go.
Question number 1, the following excerpt is taken from what Langston Hughes poem, whose introduction and foreword title indicate that it might have began as a homework assignment. It's not easy to know what is true for you or me, but I guess I'm what I feel and see and hear. Harlem, I hear you. What Langston Hughes poem is that? That's question number 1.
Mm-hmm. Question number 2, a family law principle known as the Tender Years Doctrine. That was poorly parsed.
Poorly parsed.
That was
Mickey.
It was a poorly parsed performance.
Yeah.
Question number 2, a family law principle known as the Tender Years Doctrine becomes an essential plot point in the resolution of what 1979 Academy Award-winning film? Looking for the name of that 79 film. That's question number 2.
Question number 3. Erwin Schrödinger's famous thought experiment involving a cat in a box was intended as a critique of an interpretation involving the existence of what 13-letter principle that describes the simultaneous combination of multiple quantum states? What 13-letter principle describing the simultaneous combination of multiple quantum states was the subject of Erwin Schrödinger's famous thought experiment? That's question 3.
Question number 4. Whilst living in Leipzig, Johann Sebastian Bach used the words of German poet Picander as the libretto for several of his works, including what 1727 oratorio, partly named for a New Testament figure. What is the name of that 1727 oratorio that Bach composed while in Leipzig that had a libretto using the words of German poet Picander and was partly named for a New Testament figure? Which one checks all of those boxes? That's question number 4.
Chickens and boxes.
Chickens and boxes.
Question number 5, as revealed in Tango Maureen, the Rent characters Mark and Joanne both used what schmoopy pet name in their relationships with the title character? What schmoopy pet name was used by both Mark and Joanne, as revealed in the number Tango Maureen? That's question 5.
Question number 6. In 2018, what skier became the youngest to win 50 World Cup races at just 23 years old? This skier is tied with Ted Lickety and Andrea Mead Lawrence for most medals by an American in alpine skiing. What skier are we looking for? That's question number 6.
And your penultimate of the round, founded in 1929 by Amelia Earhart, what still extant international group supporting women's pilots is named for the number of members who attended the group's first meeting? What is that group? That is question number 7.
Question number 8. What Mexican beer brand has been redacted from the following stills from television commercials attempting to unite the brand with the Hispanic American identity? So what Mexican beer brand has been twice redacted in the stills seen on this slide? There we go. That is question number 8.
That's what we got for round number 4.
Yep, that's it for round number 4. I'm going to roll it back to the top. We're going to set up the music, set up the countdown, and we will see you in just a little bit. So good luck.
See you in a bit.
All right, everybody, we are back after evaluating the answers from round number 4, and we're going to give you the correct answers from that same round. Starting with question number 1. Let me get rid of that distracting balloon text.
The following excerpt is taken from what Langston Hughes poem, whose introduction and forward title indicate it began as a homework assignment. It's not easy to know what is true for you or me, but I guess I'm what I feel and see and hear. Harlem, I hear you. And that Langston Hughes poem is Theme for English B.
Yep, Theme for English B. Most of our teams got that. We had someone say, what is America to me? Langston Hughes, I believe, has a poem simply called America. But yeah, Theme for English B was the one we were looking for there. Question number 2, a family law principle known as the Tender Years Doctrine becomes an essential plot point in the resolution of what 1979 Academy Award-winning film? Universal Get Here, that was Kramer versus Kramer.
Yep. Question number 3, Erwin Schrödinger's famous thought experiment involving a cat and a box was intended as a critique, as an interpretation involving the existence of what 13-letter principle describing the simultaneous combination of multiple quantum states.
I believe this was also a social.
And that is superposition.
That is
superposition.
Superposition.
Yeah.
And
there's a cat in a box.
Yeah, I didn't want to go with any of the illustrations of alive dead cats or alive cats or anything like
just
that.
a cat in the box.
So I just went with Maru. Maru was like a famous box jumping kitty cat.
Yep.
Question number 4. Whilst living in Leipzig, Johann Sebastian Bach used the words of German poet Picander as the libretto for several of his works, including which 1727 oratorio, partly named for a New Testament figure, that is the St. Matthew Passion. Bach also composed the St. John Passion and the St. Luke Passion, I believe, none of which achieved the same level of esteem as the St. Matthew Passion. But if you were to mention those, the only reason they wouldn't be correct is because Picander didn't do the libretto. We might have been lenient, though, but we didn't get any of those.
So we weren't. Question number 5. As revealed in Tango Maureen, the Rent characters Mark and Joanne both use what schmoopy pet name in their relationships with the title character. And that pet name was Pookie.
When she pouts her lips and calls you Pookie. Yep, and that's the moment. That's the moment where Joanne's like, oh my god. Such a good musical. That's one of the earliest songs in that musical, too. Question number 6. In 2018, what skier became the youngest to win 50 World Cup races at just 23 years old? This skier is tied with Ted Ligety and Andrea Mead Lawrence for the most medals won by an American in alpine skiing. And who else dominates the slopes but Michaela Schifrin? Got anything to say about Michaela Schifrin?
Michaela Schifrin is absolutely wonderful. She's one of the youngest to ever win the Grand Slam. She's won Super G, moguls, just anything alpine skiing, she's won.
Just about. TJ.
Question number 7. Founded in 1929 by Amelia Earhart, but still extant international group supporting women's pilots, is named for the number of members who attended the group's first meeting. And that would be the 99s. The 99 women pilots who attended the first meeting.
Yeah, it was Amelia Earhart who called for the meeting. So she's generally credited as the founder, although, of course, a lot of the labor was done by people other than Amelia Earhart, or rather in conjunction with Amelia Earhart. And the organization still survives and provides scholarship for women interested in aviation.
But I mean, when you can put Amelia Earhart on the billboard.
Oh, for sure.
Amelia Earhart on the billboard.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That puts butts in seats, as they say.
Exactly.
Question number 8. What Mexican beer brand has been redacted from the following stills from television commercials attempting to unite the brand with the Hispanic American identity? On the left, you've got DJ Citizen Jane's commercial, and you've got Mr. Cartoon's commercial there on the right. That is Modelo or Modelo Especial. Either one would have been acceptable. All right, TJ.
Let's go to the scoreboard. 32 points in 4th place with 3rd podium. 33 points with 3 points. I love the symmetry there. Kanye West Nile Virus. 2nd place, 39 points for Who Killed Norm Macdonald. You guessed it, Frank Stallone. Wouldn't put it past him. First place, 40 points for the Werthers of Old Sorrows.
Ooh, that's a 1 point lead?
It's a 1 point lead coming into round 5, which is definitely the hardest of the night.
Yes, it is. Have fun with these. And I mean that sincerely, and also, wahaha, Lee. All right. Question number 5, or round number 5, question number 1. TJ, start us off.
Question number 1. After leaving Harvard, how long did Richard Henry Dana Jr. spend aboard the ships the Pilgrim and Alert, according to the title of his 1840 memoir? According to the title of the 1840 memoir, how long did Richard Henry Dana Jr. spend aboard the ships the Pilgrim and the Alert? That is question 1.
Question number 2, named for a Greek mariner in service to Spain's King Philip II, what waterway has been redacted from the following image of Washington's Olympic Peninsula? You could tell I was getting to the end and realized our redacted quota had not yet been hit. Anyway, looking for the name of the waterway that has been redacted by that long gray rectangle there up at the top of Washington's Olympic Peninsula. What is that waterway named for a Greek mariner in service to Philip II of Spain? That is question number 2.
Question number 3. What company released an ad in 2019 told through a series of self-shot videos that received so much backlash that Ryan Reynolds and Aviation Gin lampooned the ad, telling the Central Woman, "You're safe here"? So what company put a ad out in 2019 that was so reviled that Ryan Reynolds and Aviation Gin decided to lampoon the ad with the Central Woman? That's question 3.
Question number 4. The following images feature a pair of works sculpted by what French artist, who may have become a household name had she not been unfairly conflated with her lover, Auguste Rodin, and destroyed many of her own works? Which I award that take, by the way, to Bradley. Bradley is an advocate of this artist, and should be. This artist is fantastic. But those are the works there. I can't tell you the names of them, just in case you already know the names of them. But again, this sculptor may have become a household name had they not been unfairly conflated with Auguste Rodin, their lover, and destroyed many of their own works. What sculptor created these works? That's question number 4.
Question number 5. Considered one of the most beautiful stations in Europe. The following slide shows what London railway station whose canonized namesake is just one letter different from an internal organ. So known as one of Europe's most beautiful railway stations. What station is this that their canonized person is one letter off a central organ? What station is that? That's question 5.
Question number 6. I got both the arts. I put both the arts in here
You
because
got the arts.
having an art attack.
Yeah.
Question number 6. The works seen on the following slide were created by what Dutch artist, whose insistence on diagonal lines is said to have caused a rift between the artist and Piet Mondrian? So what Dutch artist created these works which use those filthy diagonal lines?
How could you?
That may have caused a rift between this artist and Piet Mondrian. So, what is the name of the Dutch artist who created the pair of works seen on this slide? That's question number 6.
Question number 7. Awarded from 1969 to 2011, the Grammy Award for Best Pop Instrumental Performance was last awarded to Jeff Beck for Nessun Dorma. The first was awarded to guitarist Mason Williams for what piece that Williams wrote to fuel classical guitar? What was the first piece to be awarded the Grammy for Best Pop Instrumental Performance? It was done by Mason Williams and was written to fuel classical guitar. What is that piece? That's question 7.
And question number 8, as we finish out the game, you've got a movie question containing two of them. Containing two opposite prepositions in its title. What 1967 film, based on a Belle Kaufman novel about English teacher Sylvia Barrett, drew instant comparisons to Sir with Love, as both films featured educators in underfunded schools and were released within 2 weeks of one another?
Really an Armageddon Deep Impact kind of thing going on here?
I guess, yeah. I guess. Well, Tombstone and what's it? Wyatt Earp, I think was the other one. Little twinning. Yep. Again, question number 8 in full is containing two opposite prepositions in its title. What 1967 film, based on a Bell Kaufman novel about English teacher Sylvia Barrett, drew instant comparisons to Sir with Love, as both films featured educators in underfunded schools and were released within 2 weeks of one another? That's question number 8. We're going to go to the recap here with question number 1.
Question number 1. After leaving Harvard, how long did Richard Henry Dana Jr. spend aboard the ships The Pilgrim and Alert, according to the title of his 1840 memoir? According to Dana Jr.'s 1840 memoir, how long did he spend aboard the ships of The Pilgrim and the Alert? That's question 1.
Question number 2. Named for a Greek mariner in service to Spain's King Philip II. What waterway has been redacted from the following image displaying Washington's Olympic Peninsula? So, what waterway has been redacted in that long gray rectangle there at the top of the Olympic Peninsula? Just looking for the name of that waterway. That's question number 2.
Question number 3. What company released an ad in 2019 that was told through a series of self-shot videos? It received so much backlash that Ryan Reynolds and Aviation Gin lampooned the ad, with the central woman telling her, "You're safe here." To new beginnings.
To new beginnings.
So what company released the ad in 2019 that was told through a series of self-shot videos? That was lampooned by Aviation Gin. That's question 3.
Question number 4. The following images feature a pair of works sculpted by what French artist, who may have become a household name had she not been unfairly conflated with her lover Auguste Rodin and destroyed many of her own works? So the works seen on this slide here were created by what French artist who herself may have become a household name had she not been conflated with Auguste Rodin and destroyed many of her own works? That is question number 4. Identify that French artist.
Question number 5. Considered one of the most beautiful stations in Europe. The following slide shows what London railway station, whose canonized namesake is just one letter different from an internal organ. So this shows what London railway, whose canonized namesake is just one letter different than internal organs, considered one of the most beautiful railway stations in all of Europe. What is it? That's question 5.
Question number 6. The works seen on the following slide were created by what Dutch artist, whose insistence on diagonal lines is said to have caused a rift between the artist and Piet Mondrian? Bad packetizing, I know, to have both of the art questions here, but I had the problem of not paying attention to packetizing while writing the questions and finalizing the slides.
I had the problem of oopsie.
I had the problem of oopsie, exactly.
Yeah.
That's question number 6. Identify the Dutch artist who created those works.
Question number 7. Awarded from 1969 to 2011. The Grammy Award for Best Pop Instrumental Performance was last awarded to Jeff Beck for Nessun Dorma. The first was awarded to guitarist Mason Williams for what piece that Williams wrote to fuel classical guitar? What piece did Mason Williams write to fuel classical guitar and was the first to be the winner for the Grammy Award for Best Pop Instrumental? That's question 7.
And we're going to finish it with question number 8, containing two opposite prepositions in its title. What 1967 film, based on a Bell Kaufman novel about English teacher Sylvia Barrett, drew instant comparisons to Sir with Love, as both films featured educators in underfunded school systems, and both were released within 2 weeks of one another? What is the name of that 1967 film? That is question number 8. That is round number 5.
That's the game, yeah.
That's the game, absolutely. Get those answers in when you can. Best of luck, everybody. I noticed there was a little too much rat-a-tat-tat in the last song from the Epic station, so I switched over to ambient, but I think I'm going to try something else out. What do we got here? Chiptune I've tried, and that was fun. I don't really know what hard dance is. House grooves, hype bangers, industrial, melodic bass, polka. Ooh, synthwave. Let's do synthwave. Yeah. All right, we will see you all in just a little bit. Get those answers in, and best of luck.
All right, it's time to get to those final answers for round number 5.
For sure. Starting with question number 1, TJ.
Question number 1: After leaving Harvard, how long did Richard Henry Dana Jr.
He's got a lot of names.
Yeah, he does. Spend aboard the ships The Pilgrim and Alert, according to the title of his 1840 memoir. That memoir is 2 years before the mass, so two years. 2 years.
Yeah. I was telling TJ, I think only the real ones showed up tonight because y'all did really well.
Some of these got pounded.
Yeah. Question number 2. This one was also a social, as was question number 1. Name for a Greek mariner in service to Spain's King Philip II. What waterway has been redacted from the following image of Washington's Olympic Peninsula? Right above the Olympic Peninsula, you'll find the Strait of Juan de Fuca. The whole thing about Greek mariner, I wasn't like trying to intentionally throw people off, but I wanted you to think about it a little bit differently. Because we know Juan de Fuca primarily by the name he was called in Spanish court, not by the name he was born with, which was like Ioannis or something like that.
Question number 3. What company released an ad in 2019 that was told through a series of self-shot videos and received so much backlash that Ryan Reynolds and Aviation Gin lampooned the ad, telling the central woman, "You're safe here." To new beginnings. Peloton. Exercise bike not included.
Ryan Reynolds has been consistently amazing. I remember when there was that theft in the Vancouver area, and I think it was a teddy bear that had like the recorded voice of a woman's deceased mother.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think we can all agree the bear needs to come home. No questions asked if you just drop it off. But
yeah,
let's put this out there, Vancouver.
Yeah.
Question number 4. The following images feature a pair of works sculpted by what French artist, who may have become a household name herself, had she not been unfairly conflated with Auguste Rodin and destroyed many of her own works. So the works here are The Waltz, as seen on the left, and The Mature Age, as seen on the right. It was the mature age that caused the separation between her and Rodin. There were a lot of other factors, of course, but he found it just, I guess, grisly. Which is weird because he like sculpted a thing called the Gates of Hell.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, that is Camille Claudel. Camille Claudel, excellent sculptor in her own right. Just forgetting any association with Rodin.
Question number 5. Considered one of the most beautiful stations in Europe. The following slide shows what London railway station, whose canonized namesake is just one letter removed from an internal organ.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be St. Pancras, not the St. Pancreas.
No, it's not the St. Pancreas.
No.
That one's a little bit more isolated, insulin, isola, insula, all that.
Got that.
Question number 6. The works seen on the following slide were created by what Dutch artist, whose insistence on diagonal lines is said to have caused a rift between the artist and Piet Mondrian? Speaking of artistic splits, one of the most famous in history may very well be the dissolution of the early De Stijl partnership between Piet Mondrian and Theo van Doesburg. Theo van Doesburg. Gotta say, I like the diagonals.
Damn.
I do. Personally, I mean, De Stijl is its own thing. Fine. But I can kind of see artistically how it's something that people like. I remember when we were making the Excel spreadsheets, when we were doing the stats from all of the Octopus games, and like just the combination of the reds and blues cells, I kind of wanted to just frame them devoid of text. Like, these are beautiful. Anyway, my artistic things aside.
Question number 7, award from 1969 to 2011. The Grammy Award for Best Pop Instrumental Performance was last awarded to Jeff Beck for Nessun Dorma. The first time was awarded to guitarist Mason Williams for what piece that he wrote to fuel classical guitar? Play Classical Gas.
Now do Classical Gas.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one picture to use for that, for sure. Talongwa says, great movie about her, Camille Claudel, from the 90s. That sounds like a good one. That sounds like a good one. Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
And your last question of the evening.
Containing two opposite prepositions in its title, what 1967 film, based on a Belle Kaufman novel, about Sylvia Barrett drew instant comparisons to Sir with Love, partly because both of them featured determined educators in underfunded school systems, and mostly because both were released within 2 weeks of each other. That is Up the Down Staircase. Up the Down Staircase, yep. That says Teachers Positively Stink. The other one was Teachers Are, I think, a cancer on this country or something like that. Yeah, it's nice when you get into your classroom and that's already written on the board. Oh, okay, cool.
We're really outraged people today.
Yep, for sure. But
let's go to the results page. In fourth place, 38 points for third podium. Third place, 40 points for Kanye West Nile Virus. Second place for 46 points. Who Killed Norm Macdonald? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. And in first place, with 48 points, it's The Werthers of Old Sorrows. The Werthers of Old Sorrows, that's a hell of a score, especially
what I thought was a more or less difficult game.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly the music round didn't play the way we thought it would.
No, it did not. We're going to have to...
I consider us music players, we would not have gotten a perfect score on that music round.
Probably
so,
not.
Really good job. You're not getting Kathy's clown.
No, we weren't.
You're not getting Kathy's clown.
Yeah.
But anyway, fantastic job, everybody. Thank you very much. Also, would like to say thank you to
Adam Francois Watkins for donating.
Watkins.
And if you would like to donate and be shouted out, you can do so at Venmo at McKinney-Sizemore or ksizemore at hotmail.com for PayPal.
Absolutely. And if you want a little something for your donation, check out the Gentleman Octopus Question Archive. We've posted it a couple of times on the main page and a couple of times in the Trivia Studying Support group. But if you need a link to it, let us know. We'd love to share the 3,300 images we have of curated questions, primarily ones where we didn't think the answer was straight up, easy or wasn't a filler or anything like that, or maybe at the time was current events but now isn't relevant.
Yep.
We curated it. We put the best stuff up there, and if you want it, go check it out and hit us up on Venmo or PayPal on a pay-what-you-want basis if it helps you and if it's something you enjoy. Again, that's Venmo at McKinney-Sizemore, and PayPal is ksizemore at hotmail.com.
Thank you for joining us for this special Tuesday edition of Gentleman Octopus. We'll be back to your regularly scheduled program next Monday at 9 p.m.
Absolutely, we will. Thank you very much for bearing with us, T. Thanks very much for recapping that right there and telling everybody why they're here. Cheers one more time.
Cheers.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Have a great night.